Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Hello everyone, my name is Fadhilah Putri Aulia, and in this video I would like to read the material. It's about North American Indians. So the first people to live in North America were the American Indian or Native Americans. According to the religious and folk rise of many Indian groups, their allies and sectors arrived in North America from the inside of the earth. Modern scientists, however, believe that the first Native Americans came from Asia 15,000 to 80,000 years ago across the Bering Strait from Siberia to Alaska. They were nomads, that is, they did not live in one place, but instead were always on the move as they looked for food. In other words, the first American Indians were hunters who followed the animals their food sought during times of migration from place to place. Together, the nomadic people and animals slowly migrate toward the south. These early inhabitants spread out all over the North American continent, now Canada, the United States, and Mexico. There was a great variety of languages, religious beliefs, and customs among the many tribes or groups of Indians. By the time the first Europeans arrived, the Indians were living in several different culture areas. The members of various tribes in each center of culture had frequent contact with one another and shared similar characteristics. But they didn't have much in common with tribes in other culture areas. For example, the Pima and Papago tribes of the southwestern desert had similar customs and habits, but their lifestyle was completely different from that of the Sioux who lived on the plains, the Apaches in the southwest, and the Quakilt and Tlingit on the northwest coast, or the Natchez and Tonkawas on the Gulf Coast and in Florida. The lifestyle of the people who lived in each culture area reflect the geography of the area. The inhabitants of the northwest coast, now British Columbia, Canada, lives by hunting and fishing. But they didn't lead a nomadic life. They didn't need to follow animals from place to place because they could take advantage of the resources where they were living. The ocean and river produced salmon, halibut, and many other fish. The forests were rich in animal life. They offered deer, elk, and bear as well as smaller animals. In the forest, the inhabitants could also find berries to eat and wood for boats, furniture, and houses. Geography influenced other areas of life too. Hunting was seasonal work best in the summer. Therefore, the tribe members were very busy at certain times of year. But in other seasons, they had the opportunity to spend time in creative activities such as working on art for which the Norwest Coast Indians became well known. Unlike the inhabitants of the Norway coast, the Indians of the eastern plains had an agricultural way. They lived in terming minutes and raised crops. Linseed and the teeth of the tribes tied differently from those in the northwest. There were viewed to the lands. The horses were tied of wood. While the food was growing, the people stayed in their nominates. Yet after the rest, when they had brought in the corpse, the Indian viewed how they had gotten from Spanish fast to handbells. During the months when they were looking for buffalo, the lifestyle of the hunter was similar to that of the nomadic region. The western plateau teas mixing both eastern and western, the buffalo was very important. It provided many necessities meat, skin for tapes, towels that people could carry, clothing, and materials for spoons, bags, and beds. The buffalo was also central to many artistic, social, and religious activities. When Europeans arrived on the North American continent, verse 100 years ago, the Native American old way of life began to change. The differences between Europeans and Indian values soon led to difficulties. As the whites moved west, they took over more and more of the land from themselves. Native Americans had not only their land but also their lives to win the spread wars and to sicknesses that were no existent in North America before the Europeans came, but they had lost something even more important, their sense of identity. When the Plains Indian, for instance, lost their hunting grounds and the buffalo became almost extinct. The most important characteristic of their society, the buffalo hunt, was gone. Today, although some Native Americans live in urban areas, many live on reservation land that the government set aside from them. Some tribes have held on to the language and ancient custom of their ancient courts, while others in general have forgotten the old ways. Although some groups are relatively wealthy, most are very poor and have had to receive help from the government. In recent years, many tribes have begun to regain their sense of identity and their cultural heritage. They are having wars once again, this time in court, where they have succeeded in several legal battles. They are fighting to win back their land and their fishing and hunting rights, the basis of their ancestors' way of life. So I think that's all. Thank you for your attention. Wassalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.